Speaker, Sheila Fraser has said that the Unfair Elections Act will exacerbate problems with money in politics, despite the minister's absurd and contradictory rhetoric about this bill somehow taking big money out. Sheila Fraser said that new fundraising exemptions give advantages to some parties, and of course, Conservatives get the biggest advantage of all. So Ms. Fraser warned about the potential for abuse of these rules. Why won't the minister listen to her? This is not about vouching. Why is he making election fundraising less accountable and less transparent?
Honourable Minister of State.
Very interesting. The member doesn't want me to talk about vouching anymore. I think that as time has gone on, they're starting to hear from Canadians. Canadians do not agree with their position in the NDP that voters should show up and cast a ballot without any ID whatsoever. That position is not supported by the Canadian public. The NDP has lost that debate. The reality is that on the issue of fundraising, the NDP in its leadership race allowed its candidates to exclude all fundraising costs from spending limits. We have a much more narrow exemption in the Fair Elections Act. It's fair, it's reasonable, and we're moving forward.
The honourable member for Toronto Danforth.
Mr. Speaker, this minister truly is delusional. Back in 2004, the Prime Minister said Sheila Fraser's, quote, competence and courage shone a bright light on the mismanagement, incompetence, and corruption this Liberal government has been trying to hide for more than a decade, unquote. Almost 10 years later, once again, she's shining a bright light on a government gone seriously wrong. So will the minister acknowledge and accept her critiques of the unfair changes to the Act? Will he present a bill that actually promotes democracy rather than attacking it on multiple fronts?
The honourable Minister of State.
Mr. Speaker, we have proposed a Fair Elections Act which does promote democracy. It keeps everyday Canadians in charge of democracy by putting special interest groups on the sidelines and rule breakers out of business altogether. It closes loopholes to big money. It prevents fraudulent voting. It creates a new registry to track calls so that we can prevent rogue callers from impersonating political parties, candidates at Elections Canada. It is a fair, reasonable, and common sense bill, and that's why we're moving forward with it.
The honourable member.